All right, everybody, we're going to reconvene an open session from our closed session, and I'll look to our City Attorney, David Snow, for announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The City Council met in closed session to discuss the litigation item on the closed session agenda, and they took no reportable action.
Perfect. That meeting is adjourned, and welcome everyone to our City Council regular meeting, Tuesday, December 19th, 2023. And today we have a special, I'll call the meeting to order. I want to invite Knox Charelian up to lead us to the pledge of the flag. Yes. Come on up here, Knox. Make sure it works first. Okay, hold it close to your mouth, not too close. We'll follow your lead.
Please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well done. You are our youngest leader of the Pledge of the Flag so far. Did you know that? Yeah. You did know that? Well, I'll read you a little about Knox before I have him do anything else. Knox is your dad. I'm on here. You want to say hi to anybody in your family? Who's here?
My dad.
Where are they?
Over there.
Who else besides your dad?
My mom and my baby.
Your baby. What's your baby brother's name?
Chase.
All right, you ready? So this great guy to my right here is currently attending Pacific Elementary School in the TK program. Outgoing personality, right? Kind heart, that's you. Just finished a full season in NB Little League T-ball. Anybody saw under 5 soccer? How was that?
Great.
Okay. And what else? Involved in drama classes, gymnastics?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about?
I also not go. I can also go to TK class while I'm appropriate to preschool also.
Oh, you're double jointed. Good for you. Double connected. Well, we're going to recognize you here.
It's really a shame he's so shy.
Yeah, shy. So Mayor DeBrinket's got this for you to recognize you for leading us all in the pledge of the flag. And this is the key to what you really want. You want a city pen. Show up like your dad. You got one of those. And so on behalf of the entire council and all of us here, thank you for leading the pledge for us today. December 19th, our last council meeting of the year. We want to make sure we recognize you and your family. So how about pictures of you and mom and dad? You want pictures? Okay, move to them at your left over here with all of council. We'll get a picture together. How's that? We're going to be down here. Where's mom and dad? Here, come on. Here.
And his baby.
We're all going to look towards to the cameras to your right.
There you go.
To the pictures. Look to your right.
Okay.
Here, hold this up like that. Oh. Congratulations. We'll see you in a little bit, buddy. Congratulations.
All right. Good job. Good job.
Where do we get that shyness from? Oh, folks, it only gets better from here.
Can't get better from that. Yeah, I'd babysit that boy.
I'd be the opposite. He'll babysit us.
True story.
I'm going to go out of order here. Sure, everybody knows I'm going to go out of order. I want to put this up first and save Chase for the Bay Passport for last. How about the presentation for the certificates for the holiday contest winners? So those who don't know what we did, we brought back City Napolitano's famous when he was 17 years old on council. We used to give awards to the best holiday decorated house in Manhattan Beach. So Martha's going to put on the screen who the top 3 voted on by all 5 of us.
I
the
have
4
to
of us.
disclose for the public that I had to abstain because I was out of town.
That's right.
No conflict of interest. But
There we go. So see the people that put their addresses, their names, some of them were actually not named, but you can see how we get down to and recognize the address. Both East Side and West Side well represented. Been a lot more than that. The people that saw when Holmes sent me addresses, no name. But here's the top 3 winners. Third place, Chad Strickland, 1508 8th Street. You should go by and look at these homes.
Yeah.
There's something to see. And more does not mean better. Just the way they design their Christmas decorations, something to see. 1508 8th Street, that third place. Yes, they get their awards there. We have the city clerk has them.
I went for more.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's your. And how about second place? Rob Bar, 1336 Voorhees. All right.
Yay.
That's another one. And first place, 5 Catalina Court. We call it the Candy Court in Manhattan Village. All the homes on that square, the court decorated. So 5 Catalina Court. It's your first place. When not only you're watching at home, come see the city clerk later tomorrow. She has your prizes for you. But thank you all for doing it for us and kind of get our city back to where it was before with decorations. So thanks for all for doing that. It's definitely fun. And then I'm going to go out of order again. I've got the Beach Cities Health District recognizing the city of Manhattan Beach for being a partner in health, celebrate 25 years of preventative health success. And Janet Tick, you're going to tell us all about it.
Hello, Mayor and, Council.
That's okay. You're fine. Go ahead.
Okay. My name is, that's what I thought. That's where I was going. My name's Jane Deal, and I'm Beach Cities Health District Board member. For the last 25 years, we've had many partners. You are a very important partner to help us. Our mission is to have a healthy beach community. So to commemorate our 25 years, we have been bringing proclamations, and so I would like to read it. The Partner in Health presentation to the City of Manhattan Beach. Whereas Beach Cities Health District enhances individual and community health through a broad range of innovative health programs and services in collaborative partnership with local organizations, municipalities, and elected officials, including the City of Manhattan Beach. And whereas the City of Manhattan Beach has dedicated its time, energy, and civic services to partner with Beach Cities Health District on several initiatives to make healthy choices available and accessible all. Whereas the City of Manhattan Beach dedication to preventative health success for 25 years is appreciated by citizens, officials, and employees throughout the beach cities. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed, the Beach Cities Health District Board of Directors, on behalf of the entire organization, hereby issues this proclamation to the City of Manhattan Beach in recognition of its unwavering commitment as a partner to health to create a healthy beach community for all ages.
Well done, Jane.
Yeah, thank you.
You want to present it up here to give us all a picture with you?
Sure, love to.
Sure.
All right. Good thing I wore my lucky green tie.
And what a great way to start this meeting.
No, you're next to Amy. Oh, sorry.
You're gonna be able to
Former
beat that?
school board members.
I
We
can't
know.
beat that at all.
Yeah, we know what's up.
We know
That's
what's
what
up.
we do.
We're going to look to the right.
Thank you.
Tell Tom we said hello.
I will.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for everything you
Great,
guys have
thank
done.
you.
Thank you. Oh, you need a pen.
Oh, yes.
City pen, Jane.
Hold on, Jane. We got a city pin.
I thought you might have viewed those at home.
Redondo one, but don't.
No.
Now I have a Manhattan.
I get to wear one that counts.
Watch your step.
Good catch.
Yeah.
I'm still saving you guys for last. I'm going to get a break there. So,
Maybe it looks fine.
item number 4, we're going to present a certificate of recognition to Heather Hoffman for years dedicated service to Manhattan Beach Unified School District as executive assistant to the superintendent. So Heather and your entourage, come on up here for me, please.
Ooh, and her
travel
entourage.
alone, I know that.
And her entourage. I like that.
This brings back memories of being called to the principal's office.
I don't have that memory, John.
John,
I
thanks for
couldn't
coming.
without the board president help me.
No, it's well deserved.
In case it recognizes people, Heather is the one dressed in all black. The president of the school board, Kathy Graves, is here to my left, and Dr. John Bowe, superintendent, is to my right. So I'm going to read a little bit about Heather that we got from different sources, and I'll read to her. I'm not blocking you guys. No, it's all right. You stay there. You're good. Heather Daly Hoffman was born and raised in Manhattan Beach. You get 1 point for that. She attended Grandview Elementary, Center Intermediate, so did Steve. And she's a proud graduate of Aviation High School. After receiving her bachelor's degree from UCLA, Heather and her husband settled in Manhattan Beach for the same reason that many do, so the kids could receive the same, or even better now, outstanding public education. After spending so many hours in the classroom as a parent volunteer, Heather was inspired / coerced and encouraged by her son's principal to get her substitute teaching credential. Years later, Ramir Costa principal was looking for a new office manager. She took advantage of a chance to work in the trenches and learn the inner workings of the busiest high school in Southern California. Is that true?
Absolutely.
All right. Eventually, her love of a good challenge and desire to help others led to her current position working with the superintendent of schools, and has done so for 16 years. Can you imagine? 16 years school district? I don't know if I could have lasted that long. On Heather's off time, she likes to run on the beach, play word, and not post any kind, and travel. Hold on here. Thank God it's a number 10 font, or I couldn't read it. Her goal is to keep running the Manhattan Beach 10K well into her 80s so you could catch Russ Lesser and place in the top 5 in her age category. Problem is, women in this town keep getting faster as they get older. So that's the personal bio, but I'll tell you more about this. When COVID was here and Dr. Matthews was here before Dr. Bose, I didn't have an actual pipeline into schools, what's going on. Heather was my pipeline as the mayor, what you needed, what's going on, the secret stuff we wanted to say, hey, something going on we should know about. She was my inside person, so I was aware. And COVID, we could all tell what's going on. We didn't know what was happening, right? We all watch TV, listen to the governor, listen to Washington, which one's right and wrong. So if Heather needed something, our police to show up or something, there's something going on, she was my inside source. So I'm thanking her for 16 years of being there for all of us, but really for my years, COVID, to make sure what was going on. She really helped me, helped guide us during that time period. So that's my official thank you. Let her say a few words on her behalf.
Oh, gee. I work behind the scenes, not in front of them. Thank you, Mayor Montgomery. It's an honor. I'm humbled and embarrassed a little bit. I first started working, I remember working with you before COVID, actually, when the city of Manhattan Beach and the school district partnered together to help a small town in Texas after the hurricane. And you were right there rolling up your sleeves and saying, okay, what can we do?
And then Dr. Dale led that charge,
Yeah,
right?
exactly, yeah. And it was amazing. It was just like, I remember being in this council chambers afterwards with everybody who was involved, and everybody, there was not a dry eye in the house. But anyway, it's been an honor, and I hope to continue working, maybe not for another 16 years, but but for this fine city and school district. Thank you.
We appreciate that. So on behalf of the city, hold on. We got something for you. 16 years dedicated service to the MBUSD and the city. That's for you. And now, I thought Joe would get this to you. Now you have one of our official pins to put on us. And now we can all say thank you for doing it for 16 years. And now we're going to have Bristol, Lisa, all council in here. Do you want to say anything, Kathy? I forgot. Do you want to say anything? Did you want to add to that?
No.
No?
Thank you very much. We could say much. We could say
We're going to get a chance to do it.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. All right, this goes, this is, that? Mine? Do you have a
And-
pillow?
Yeah.
Okay, that's you.
Last but not least, some of you were around in COVID when we had the first baby passport, right? Well, that first baby passport went to someone named Knox Charelian. So fast forward to December 2023, and guess what? Another Charelian's on the menu here for baby passport. This one is Chase Steele Charelian. So come back down, all of you, at baby passport time, and Steve, the proud dad, while Arcie was holding Chase, I'm going to have you talk about Knox. I know you want to talk about him, but your dad's going to talk about him, all right?
I don't
Come over here
know.
with us. There you go. So tell us about Chase.
Wow, thank you again for the back-to-back passports. I think it was your first to Knox, and then followed up with Chase here. Chase, what a blessing. Born July 13th, early morning, just brightened up our day in life. A little story about Chase, the way he was named. It was about 2 months into the pregnancy, and we didn't know if it was a boy or girl, but wanted to bring Knox into the whole process. And he just kind of, we let him know that's, you're going to have a brother or sister. We don't know yet. You're going to be part of the process. We'll keep you posted the entire way. And sure enough, he kind of paused and thought about it. And he goes, Mom, Dad, that's going to be my brother Chase. So that was, the name stuck with us, and that's where Chase is from. And flows really good with the last name, but right now it's eating, sleeping, and changing diapers, and then repeat. So
And Chase too, right?
Chase too. Thank you, Chase too. But again, thank you for the baby passport, and couldn't be any happier. Mom, do you want to say anything?
Only one question though. So where did the name Steele? It's a Hollywood name. Chase Steele's got a nice Hollywood zing to it.
So Knox.
Yeah, go ahead.
Knox is Knox Stone Charelian. So then he's Chase Steele Charelian.
I like that. So on behalf of the council, here is your official. These are very rare to find, folks. Baby passport. On behalf of the entire council, now he joins his brother, having the last and first the baby passport. So congratulations to all of you. Congratulations, Chase. We'll see you when you get to be 5 years old.
Congrats, you guys.
There you go. Aim it towards Lisa. We are really a family here, if you can't tell, by the way, folks.
Almost there, pass.
Everybody say happy holidays.
Happy.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Chase, thank you.
I'll be a babysitter.
Yeah, Uncle Joe babysitting, he just said. That's how you want to close the holidays off, right? With that? Man, doesn't get any better. All right. We skipped ahead to roll call, Lisa?
Councilmember Haworth? Here. Councilmember Lesser?
Here.
Councilmember Napolitano?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Franklin?
Here.
Mayor Montgomery?
I'm here as well. Move to item E, approval of agenda and waiver before reading of ordinances.
So moved.
First by Councilor Haworth and a second by Councilor Lesser. Vote roll, thank you.
Motion passes 5-0.
Great. Item F, City Council and Community Organization announcements of upcoming events. 1 minute per person, folks, in the community. What's going on?
Hi, good evening, Mayor, members of the council. I'm Josh Murray. I'm here on behalf of Manhattan Beach Library. I'd like to let the community know that registration is now available for our next Smarty Pants story time on Thursday, January 4th at 10:15 a.m. Let's get ready for school, enjoy books, songs, rhymes, and movement while learning school readiness skills and having fun. This program is intended for children ages 2 to 5 with their parent or caregiver, and registration usually fills up quickly. So if anyone's interested, I'd go to our website, lacountylibrary.org, and register. I'd also like to remind the community that we will be closed on Monday, December 25th for the Christmas holiday, and on Monday, January 1st, 2024 for the New Year's holiday. And other than those dates, our schedule will remain the same. And I thank you for your time.
Fantastic, Josh. Happy holidays to you and your staff.
Thank you, you too.
Jeff.
It's actually mine.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. Jeff Fialka here from the Public Works Department to invite the community to a public meeting tomorrow, Wednesday, December 20th at 6 p.m. in the Jocelyn Center to discuss the Pacific Wastewater Pump Station Conversion to Gravity Line project. It's a mouthful. So this project involves the decommissioning and removal of an existing sewer pump station located on Pacific Avenue near 27th Street. The pump station will be replaced by a new gravity sewer line that will connect to an existing LA County Sanitation District sewer line near Pacific and Ardmore. During the meeting, attendees will have the opportunity to learn about the project, see preliminary designs, ask questions, and provide feedback. For more information about this or other active or upcoming public works projects, please visit the Engineering Division webpage at manhattanbeach.gov/engineering. Thank you.
Hey, Jeff, one question. How far are you noticing residents about the project? How far out?
Everybody received a mailer 500 feet out from the project location.
Okay. And our website notices too? It's on our website?
Yes, on the website, there's a page specific to that project. It provides information and specifically about the meeting as well.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
And we also have committee announcements. How about a Zoom, Martha?
There's no raised hands via Zoom.
Okay, colleagues, anyone has a committee announcement? Nobody? Joe, any announcement?
Nope.
Sure?
Don't wait.
No?
What did I forget?
Nothing, just asking. All right. I've got a couple. Happy's Fireworks, folks, one of our best ones we had this year. We were lucky, but it takes a lot of people. I mean, our first-time guy, his father passed away, and his name was Tom Moffett. He took over his dad's mantle and kept the thing going a 31st year. And most of you have seen Tom, the guy running around the last 3 days for the fireworks. Not only get a state permit that's now required, but everything else organized. Tom did a great job, and his group, his family, fantastic for our event, 31 years. But, of course, fire, PD, we couldn't have done it without them. Public Works as well. Parks and Rec. It took a lot of people, folks. You saw the crowd here. Look at the pictures that people took in our drones all the way down to Redondo. You see all the El Segundo, all on the beaches to watch our fireworks show. We're going to send them a bill for that later on. But, I mean, they love our shows, of course, because it's fireworks, not drones. But the fact that it happens, and what a night for it to happen. Great weather, great people take care of it. That's how it worked out. But I know our restaurants, our bars, our hotels, the stores all loved it. If you were trying to get out of here quickly, you didn't love it. But everything else about it was fantastic. All of you that helped make it, put it on, thank you from all of us, because we know what it takes to put that show on. Look forward to next year. And speaking of which, Beach City's Toy Drive, Lisa and Martha and Patty and Parks and Rec again, we hosted it this last Saturday at Jocelyn Center. We counted 300 people in there. Whether A, they came to rap, or B, they came for the free food, I don't know which happened first. But we know we had 4,000 plus toys donated. And we don't keep those toys here. Contrary to popular belief, we don't go deliver. We have 7 charities that come pick up from across LA County. From 1736 House to Richstone to so many others that we able to provide toys to all of them. And Chief Lane knows this. We get toys donated from Saturday afternoon all the way to January 1st. And those extra toys go to usually a midnight mission or a family we find that didn't get toys. So, again, Parks and Rec helped us. PD and Fire, again. Fire even stayed around to wrap presents or transfer presents from the wrap to the boxes. But, again, all made it happen. They couldn't do it without people that actually behind-the-scenes people like you, as you would say. They're behind the scenes. They made it all happen. Let's see what else talked about here. Director Lee. Where's that little book here? So I went to the American Public Works Association, APWA, and our people won the award this year for, I want to read it correctly because, decorative crosswalks and safety enhancements. You know, the color ones you walk cross street and cross different ways, different diagonals. They recognize it. So I went to the luncheon. I don't know if you brought the actual plaque they bring with you, but it's a big deal. You compete against everyone in Southern California, and our guys won one of the awards. So hats off to Public Works for that. We'll give them a round of applause for that one. Probably hanging on Director Lee's wall as we speak today. I don't know where that thing is. But anybody else got anything else going on? No, you're good? All right, we'll go to our public comment. 3 minutes per person on any item not on the agenda. If it is on the agenda, you can't speak on it when it comes up. But if you want to talk about anything else in our jurisdiction, please come on down right to the microphone. You guys want to come down and talk? Yes. Come on down. You lucked out. Perfect timing.
No pressure. I mean, the superintendent of schools is here, but
Yeah,
no
no pressure.
We're from ASB, and I'm Charlie Stanton.
I'm Parker Conley.
And I'm Eli Sabula.
Welcome.
We're part of Maricosa's ASB student government, and as we prepare for a close to the first semester of the year, there have been multiple events in the past few weeks. Starting tomorrow, final exams will take place until Friday, and Linker has been giving the freshman class goodie bags filled with helpful tips and small gifts to prepare them for the high school first week exam. Additionally, Stadium Way, the pathway connecting Peck to the athletic complex, has been under construction.
All right.
There have been several winter concerts with Maricosa's band, orchestra, and choir programs. The choir presented their annual winter concert, The Shining Night, on December 7th and on December 1st. The symphonic band, Wind Ensemble, Wind Symphony, and the jazz band played an array of classical holiday favorites for the band winter concert. The The drama program had a benefit in which they had multiple performances of singing and dancing in order to raise money to buy gifts for the Richstone adoptive family for Operation Happiness, which was very successful.
Operation Happiness is an annual school-wide charity event at MiraCosta for the holidays, where classes and other school organizations are given the opportunity to participate in giving back to the community through 5 different charities. The 5 charities are Richstone Adoptive Family, where gifts and supplies are given to a specific family; Angel Tree and Toys for Kids, where young children receive gifts; Help the Homeless, where supplies like toiletries and blankets are donated to homeless shelters; and the Canned Food Drive, which supplies food for those in need around the community. In the past few weeks, we've received thousands of cans from students and classes on campus, which we sent to the Salvation Army. Also, with the help from amazing teachers and students on campus, we were able to support around 10 families for the Richstone Adoptive Family, in which we just finished bringing the gifts to Richstone Center in Hawthorne. Mrs. Nielsen, the AP Chemistry teacher at MiraCosta, raised around $3,600 for her class's family, and overall, Operation Happiness was a huge success and will definitely put smiles on many faces. But anyways, that's the events that have been going on at MiraCosta, and we wanted to update you guys on those.
Congratulations. MiraCosta ASB is always welcome. Thank you for what you're doing for others. Thank you both. Appreciate it. And a happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays.
All right, who wants to follow those students? Anybody? Nobody here to follow the students? How about on Zoom, Martha?
There's no request via Zoom.
All right, we'll close public comment, and we're going to go right to the consent calendar. Looking for motion, council items. You want to state your motion, Councilor Lesser?
Motion to approve the consent calendar. Hearing no request to pull any item as presented. Items number 8-5 through 13.
And I seconded that.
There we go. First by Councilor Lesser, second by Councilor Haworth, and voting screen.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right. Let's go up to our very first item here. A consideration of resolution to apply for State Water Resources Board financial assistance. And Public Works Director Lee, the floor is yours, sir.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council. I believe this item is our on-call design services for storm drain improvements. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great.
We're following your lead.
All right.
You say so.
He's still caught in the glare of the shine of the award that they received earlier.
Best city crosswalk.
Yeah.
The item before you tonight relates to our storm drain master plan, and as the council recall, this was last updated in July of 2021. It was adopted by the council later the following year, and it's the blueprint for our capital improvement projects for the storm drain side for the next 20 years, and identifies multiple benefit projects for permit compliance for the city. Two of our cornerstone projects on the stormwater side are our 28th Street Stormwater Infiltration Project for $25 million, and our TMDL, which is Total Maximum Daily Load Trash Treatment Project for about $3 million. These are major projects that the staff is currently working on. We've got design that is almost completed on the 28th Street project, and we've got grants from outside agencies totaling over $30 million for that project. That at the last estimate it was $25 million, but that was some years ago, and the market has changed. And so while we do have some super funding on grants, we think that we're going to be within budget considering new pricing once we go out to bid. On the TMDL trash treatment project, we do have grants on this project as well, to the tune of about $530,000. The rest is being funded by city funds. And these are important projects that we're going to be bringing back to the council for consideration on some of the design work, and then on the trash treatment project, hopefully to award a construction contract in February. Some other projects that are currently in the 5-year CIP are here on this slide. So we've got a Beach Cities Green Streets project, annual storm drain repairs, our Peck Avenue Storm Drain Improvement Project, Shelley Street Storm Drain Improvements, our storm drain capital best management practices, CCTV, the storm drain system, and then our golf course storm drain lift station electrical upgrades projects. These projects all total about $8.3 million and are currently programmed for the Stormwater Fund. These projects combined with the two on the previous slide are very important for our city, not only in terms of preventing flooding and making sure that we don't get sinkholes from failed storm drains, but also from regulatory compliance. Our local regulator is the LA County Regional Water Quality Board, and under our permit with the board, there are scores of requirements that we have, and completing these projects satisfy many of those. So that is some background. As it relates to the item before you today, in Public Works, we're trying to get more efficient with project delivery and get some on-call contracts in place for certain disciplines when it makes sense. In this case, we solicited requests for qualifications for firms to propose on design services agreements for storm projects, and that was issued earlier this year. We did receive 3 proposals, and all 3 firms demonstrate clear understanding of what we're looking for. They've got the experience to do this type of work and the right technical abilities. And so we're going to be requesting that you authorize approval of these agreements. And this work would be funded either through the Stormwater Fund, which is locally controlled funds, or Measure W funds that the city does receive from the county. If you approve these agreements, the 2 projects we're looking to do first would be some annual storm drain repairs. That the next project is looking to do the 14th Street Storm Drain Improvement Project. This is an area that's prone to flooding, and we actually have to spend a lot of operational energy during major rain events to really prevent flooding. And then also the golf course storm drain lift station electrical upgrades. This facility has reached the end of its useful life, and we want to make sure that we're able to pump the water out of this retention basin after rain events as quickly as possible. So in sum, staff is recommending the council adopt the resolution approving these on-call design services agreements with 3 firms, BKF Engineers, CWE, and SA Associates. Each agreement would be a 3-year agreement, maximum. There's a typo there. It's $150,000 per agreement. And then there's also some language in there that would allow us to do 2 additional 1-year extensions with the city manager's authority. And with that concludes my presentation, and I'm available for any questions you might have.
Thank you, Director Lee. Colleagues, any questions for Director Lee?
Push my button.
Councilor Powell? Steve?
Thank you, Your Honor. Director Lee, so our 5-year CIP plan for stormwater projects, those are all funded by Measure W?
No. So
I heard they were.
No, they're not.
They're not?
No.
Okay, so we have some that we're going to have to pay for through city funds, is that correct?
Correct, and as indicated on that slide, for the 5-year CIP that the council last adopted, it's a little more than $8.3 million.
Thank you.
Councilor Haworth.
Yeah, I just had you said it's $150,000 per agreement per firm, but that's not per year. That's just total per firm?
Correct.
Up to
150 on call as needed, and it's a 3-year term. So we're anticipating within 3 years we'll be activating some or all of these.
Okay, great.
Councilor Lesser.
Questions that were raised by a former colleague of ours about having on-call services like this as opposed to hiring someone to provide these sort of services in-house. Can you explain why we're not going in-house or acquiring someone to serve in the role of these outside consultants?
When you say in-house, like hiring an engineer to actually do that design work?
Correct.
The upside for us to contract that work out is that we get people who have specialty in a variety of different matters. As you know, municipality, it runs from A to Z from all types of engineering work that we would have to do. And we've got very capable engineers, but not always engineers with that specific expertise to develop, in this case, a storm drain system. So having that expertise on hand is part of that. And then also, this type of work, there's ebbs and flows to it, and sometimes we do studies, sometimes we actually do construction work, and being able to strategically contract that work out allows us to get that work done in a timely manner. But when we don't have that type of work, we don't have employees on the payroll that are not utilizing their expertise.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Joe, you good?
Yeah, I thought I had.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Franklin?
Yeah, hi, Director Lee. On slide 5, at the bottom, you said that the work was funded through the stormwater and Measure W funds. So the source of the stormwater fund are the stormwater fees, right? That's
the storm drain fees.
Storm drain fees.
Correct.
Okay. That's assessed per parcel. Do you have an idea how that breaks down? Like what percentage of each fund contributes to the total?
Well, I mean, just rough math on the capital side, which is what we've been talking about this evening. We've got $8.3 million worth of capital work programmed in the stormwater fund, which is funded by the storm drain fee. Conversely, on the Measure W side, we get about $410,000 per year from Measure W. And so over 5 years, that would be about $2 million. Mm-hmm. I guess the split for capital only, it's about $2 million versus $8.3 million, rough math. That doesn't include the operations side of the storm system, which I don't have those numbers off the top of my head, but it's considerably more than even the Measure W allocations are annually. The vast majority of anything having to do with maintaining the storm drain system in Manhattan Beach is funded by the city of Manhattan Beach.
Through the stormwater.
Through the stormwater fund, which currently is being subsidized by the general fund.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. I'll open up public comment now. We're here to talk about on-call design services. See, now how about Zoom, Martha?
There's no request via Zoom.
All right, we'll close public comment. Council? You're going to lead us on the way there forward. Motion by Councilor Howard, second by Mayor Tim Franklin. Any comments?
Yeah, just quickly. I appreciate my colleagues' questions because there is a lot of confusion and misinformation out there. And I do believe we're calling it the Storm Drain Fund that pays for stormwater projects. Is that going forward?
It's currently called the Stormwater Fund. I believe there's discussion about in the future slightly renaming it just to avoid confusion.
Right, so that people understand that that water that goes into those drains has to be treated by us. And, with $8.3 million in capital projects over the next few years and $2 million coming from Measure W, that's $6 million that's going to come from the general fund if we don't do something else about that. So I'm happy to support this.
Great. Anyone else? Then roll call vote, please.
Ruh-roh.
We have results, but no vote yet.
I like that.
0-0-0.
Your motion fails. I will introduce
We'll
a
go-
new
you wanna
motion.
go to- There you go.
Approved,
Yeah.
yes, thank you. You're
Says it
welcome.
again, we'll go to voice vote.
You've always been good at those.
Motion passes 5-0.
Legal order.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Dr. Lee. Don't go very far. Item 1.5, consideration of options to address city council legislative priorities and positions on federal, state, or county legislation. City Manager Mo.
George Gabriel will make the presentation.
All right, welcome, George.
Honorable Mayor Montgomery and members of the City Council, George Gabriel, Assistant to the City Manager. So tonight we are discussing the consideration of options to address City Council legislative priorities and positions on federal, state, and county legislation. So in recent years, federal, state, and county governments have increased their involvement in local affairs, and thus City Council has taken a more active approach as well as taken various positions. In fact, in the last 2 years, City Council has taken about 20 to 21 positions on legislation from the state, county, and federal level. In consideration of this, staff has relied on the League of California Cities to flag or recommend positions. And so staff does flag those positions as well to the attention of the City Council. But oftentimes these positions require quick action on part of City Council as well as staff. And so as of right now, the typical protocol to get a position authorized by the City Council is going through our typical three-step process where a agenda item gets considered, and then it goes on to another agenda, and then the final action gets taken at the third meeting. And so in consideration of this process, staff has surveyed about 10 cities with various approaches on addressing these types of legislation. And so a lot of cities have very different approaches. One common theme we found was that 6 cities of the 10 cities that we surveyed had legislative platform documents, and it's largely considered a best practice. And so for those unfamiliar with the legislative platform document, it basically outlines kind of the city's priorities and statements that are in support of the City Council's priorities. And so in essence, this legislative platform document would provide clear direction so that the city manager can respond and take action quickly under the direction of the City Council, of course. And typically, these legislative platform documents are also approved by the City Council at the beginning of the calendar year. Additionally, some cities surveyed established a legislative ad hoc committee of some sort or a subcommittee. And so this committee is usually comprised of 2 council members among a 5-member body. And it provides an opportunity to meet with staff to clarify, ask questions, and discuss nuances of certain developing legislation. And so given this, these trends that we're seeing in other cities, as well as trends that are going on in higher levels of government, staff is recommending that we have a revised process, which would involve a legislative platform document as well as City Council legislative ad hoc subcommittee. And so the process would go as follows. City official or council member receives a request to take a position on a bill. Staff reviews that for conformance with the council-approved legislative platform document. If the position conforms to the platform that was approved by the City Council, the 2 council members assigned to the legislative ad hoc committee will verify the position with staff. However, if the 2 council members disagree on its conformance with the committee or with the bill, with the platform, then the matter will be taken to the entire City Council for discussion. If the position does not conform, the legislation will be brought to the Legislative Ad Hoc Committee for recommendation to the City Council, and then the City Council will still consider the matter and consider a position thereafter. Obviously, once those critical actions get taken forward, the official City Council is provided. A letter is generated, and then it's posted to the City Council website and sent to the appropriate representatives. So, in essence, what we're looking for is direction from the City Council or approval from the City Council to develop a legislative platform document, as well as continue with establishing a legislative ad hoc subcommittee as well. So with that concludes my presentation. I'm here for any available questions. Thank you.
Colleagues, thank you, George. Colleagues, questions? Councilmember Lester, start us off.
I'm kind of looking for a reality check here. For all of the amount of time and effort that goes into some of these platforms that we see, and just thinking back over the years that I've been on council, when we've taken position, is there any way to tell how effective our position on a bill in Sacramento really is or has been? And I recognize it's one thing to talk about perhaps an initiative or an effort, but in terms of legislation, I worry when seeing some of other cities' approaches towards this process. Lots of staff time to prepare these platforms.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's always strength in numbers, and the more cities that try to take a position on legislation, it helps position that legislation in a way that is in conformance with the City Council. Is it always successful? No, but there has been some test cases where there has been success achieved following the League of California Cities, let's say, alerting staff staff then alerting the city council, and then a position taken. Is there a definitive way to prove the effectiveness of it? Not necessarily, but I have said that there has been some successful efforts as a result of city advocacy, and obviously the city of Manhattan Beach is one of those pieces that could contribute to that advocacy.
And how would you characterize what we have now? We have just a list of those pieces of legislation where we've taken a position as a city so the public can see the list if they dig through the website and find it.
Yes,
Okay.
we do have that list. And it's broken down by year under the city council web pages.
Okay. So in theory, we could just simply work with that existing sort of platform that we have, correct?
Well, right now we don't necessarily have a platform document, but yes, we can continue to post onto that city website if that's what you're saying.
Thank you.
Councilor Howard.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I think I'm hearing a little bit, there's a difference between a platform and positions that we've taken. And I think, and to your point, I mean, you know, some the examples, and by the way, I think this is an excellent staff report. I mean, I'm such a nerd about this stuff. I really loved, you know, the Beverly Hills and El Segundo, and they all are slightly different, right? But a lot to start with. So it's a thought that if we have a platform, you know, that will take some staff time and the ad hoc committee time in the beginning, it will actually save staff time when issues come up.
Correct.
So yes, there's going to be some ups, you know, some time in the beginning, and then I believe you're suggesting, you know, you could review that platform yearly, you know, as things change and trends change and maybe councils change. But it wouldn't be recreating the wheel each time because you could pick and choose and add and detract, correct?
Typically what I've seen in other cities is they kind of do a track changes version of their prior legislative platform document, and they'll showcase the changes, additions, amendment, whatever it may be.
Track changes, such a fun thing. There was another question. So all these things, yearly review. Oh, and so then and you're saying that, so we would keep on the website, you know, here's the different things we've taken positions on before. Here's our platform. Here's the 2024 platform. And then anything we should take a position on. And if something comes up that's not on it, like you said, we could still bring it to council.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Jim Franklin.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, George. It was very interesting to see the other cities. So being the new guy on the block here, I found this fairly interesting because your inbox when you join the council gets flooded by the advocacy groups and that you had mentioned and the like. And, you know, some of them that pique your interest as a council member. You know, you're going to go ahead and dig in to be a little, you know, go in a little deeper. I just think with the so let me ask this. So since we're asking questions, so basically you take what we vote, right? What we vote on when these come up, when they get presented, and you're just cataloging the votes, right? And creating a document similar to this, a reference document.
Not necessarily. What the legislative platform, so let's differentiate between what's on the web page versus what's on the platform document. A platform document would have statements that would affirm what the city's stance is on a certain position. Let's say, you know, something that the city council has taken a position on is advocacy for local control, especially on housing-related legislation. And a platform document would illustrate that affirmation from the city council. And so let's say a bill comes up that inhibits local control for housing-related issues. This staff would be able to quickly address that, generate a letter, talk to the legislative ad hoc committee that's in conformance with it, and then send it out to either the League of California Cities, the state California legislature. What the web page does is simply catalog what those positions are as of right now. Obviously, a web page is not static; it can change rapidly, and so what we envision is once a platform if a platform is directed by council and that is approved, that will be posted to the website, and then any position that is taken by the city council with a letter would also be posted to the city's website.
Okay, so the current council is not necessarily beholden to prior council's decisions then, right? And then how does that get reflected in a document like this?
Well, it would be, a legislative platform document is typically approved by the city council on an annual basis. So what I see from other cities is they take it in the first quarter of the year, because that's when legislation gets introduced by the state legislature especially. And then those priorities, given that that's the same city council, would typically run through that legislative calendar year.
Right.
So if you're talking about how it relates to council changeovers and such, a council changeover would occur in December of November of even years. And so a legislative platform document could be revised in accordance with a new council makeover.
Right. Okay. Because I didn't see any dates here or any vote tallies. I mean, because a 3-2 vote is different than a 5-0 vote, for example.
You're talking about on the positions?
Yeah, on the positions, yeah. And just to kind of get an idea of, you know, the discussion and then also the subsequent vote on that, because this would appear that it was all 5-0 votes, and some of them may have been closer. So.
But the majority rules, so.
Yeah, majority
and
rules.
the majority vote represents what council directs.
At that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a policy.
If it changes, then
Then
you
you-
can change what the
Right.
policy is.
Every January.
Yeah.
Every January.
Every January.
And that's just a platform document. That's not, you know, you can always have a discussion if somebody wants to.
If not, Amy will help you.
Right.
No.
George,
Maybe.
any other questions for George? All right, George, step back for a little minute, please. Public comment, anyone? How about on Zoom, Martha?
There's no request via Zoom.
Well, I'm surprised. Councilor, do you want, is that old question or
No,
new question?
that's me. That's me again.
All right. Close public comment. George, step back up, please. I want to make sure I didn't skip her. All right.
No, it's a comment, not a question.
Oh, comment. There you go.
You may sit. Sorry, I love the holidays, y'all, so I'm just like so excited. As I said before, this is a great report. I mean, it gives a lot, just the examples from the other cities, you know, doesn't have to be our ceiling. It could be our guide, you know, where we start. And there's a lot to start with if we should decide to go through with this. I do think, so when I was first elected to council, and Councilmember Lesser was as well in 2011, you know, there was a lot of, not drama, I don't mean that in a bad way, but like, you know, do we put something on to take a position on? What do we take a position on? We want to take a, you know, our city hasn't taken political positions. I mean, there was a lot of discussion, valid discussion around it. And what you see, and I think you mentioned in your staff report, is there's just more and more from this federal, state, and county level that is, as you say, inhibiting our local control, which to me is the number one reason why we should take a position on anything, right? And so I see the need for this because I have been frustrated, not with things I've wanted to put on the agenda, but, you know, some of the things come in a very timely manner from whether it's our state senator who says, hey, what do you guys think about this? And we have to wait 2 weeks to find out what we think about this, right? And yet we all know, no, we don't like SB 9 and we want more local control, but we still have to wait because that's our process. So I see this as a vital step. I do think, you know, the question about how much influence do we really have? You know, one city, here we are, Manhattan Beach, here's our letter. Well, why would we give it up? Like, why would we take the risk to give up that we have, you know, if we don't do it, we're just giving up our potential to have impact. So I appreciate what you were saying, Mayor Pro Tem, for one more meeting, Franklin. You know, the council could change drastically, and maybe we have a bunch of people on it who really think state mandated housing is a great thing. And you know what? They get to decide that at, you know, the annual meeting. So I will be in support of this. I think, you know, whoever's on the ad hoc committee, I think would be great it'd be smart to look at what we have here. And it's going to come back to the council, right? It's not going to be anything that's going to be a rogue document. It's not going to be me saying every, public light post should be pink. So it's not going to be rogue like that. But we all know we want to preserve local control. We want to preserve any bit of power that we have. And in the end, this is going to make us a lot more flexible and fluid and responsive and easier for staff. So I'll be supporting it.
Thank you, Councilor Lesser.
My sense is there's support for this among the council majority, but I remain skeptical. I remain skeptical in part having observed other organizations that are almost in an Alice in Wonderland world where they're constantly talking about legislation and what the position of their organization is, and I've seen many hours spent on what the position is of the organization, staff time being expended and then changed and then updates, and frankly, I just have not seen the impact for all of the hours. And if anything, I've seen it be something of a distraction of other more immediate issues for the city. I respect the comments of my colleague who notes, though, that to the extent that we want to retain, for example, our local control, that requires us to pay attention and to take positions in collaboration with other jurisdictions. But gosh, I've seen other jurisdictions, other organizations spend so much time on this and staff time on it that it just gives me some pause. I also am a little bit concerned about the ad hoc model just because as a council, I've thought that when I've been a mayor and when I've worked with other mayors that they've brought the issues to the full council and we have a discussion about it. I recognize the whole point here is to be able to be more nimble, to be able to respond more immediately, but I think there are ways to bring these matters to us to vote as a whole. So I'm still less supportive of the whole concept here. I would like to work with, as an alternative, our existing list of those pieces of legislation where we've taken a position. Just list it as we now do, and perhaps we could modify that list that's on the website that's sort of buried, but I'd be more in favor of that approach than this one.
Thank you, sir. Councilor Napolitano, Steve?
Thank you, Your Honor, and I'm going to use a word I'm using a lot of these days, and that's judicious. And I think that's the key here. I don't disagree, Councilor Lesser, with what you're saying in regards to the skepticism. I mean, I'd like to think that Governor Newsom is just waiting to see what Manhattan Beach thinks about a subject, an issue. That might not be the case, but it also, I'm reminded of the vote a few years back for the city of LA for mayor, where the turnout was 13%. And so the 87% had to live with what the 13% voted for. And in most instances, what we do is we track, right, League of California cities, contract cities, independent cities. So we have a sense already of what the issues are going to be coming down the pipeline for us and what we should be concerned about. What I don't want to do, and what I agree with you on this point, though, is not to open up the floodgates to everything. You got the city of LA. Another example is that they take a position on everything that has almost nothing to do with the city of Los Angeles. That is not what I want to see the city of Manhattan Beach do. We shouldn't be taking big positions on foreign matters that are already determined by our national government and others, and taking positions on whether we have Hawaiian Shirt Day or whether we support a war or a conflict or something somewhere else. That is beyond the scope of what our purpose is here. Things that have to do directly with Manhattan Beach, I do see, though, value in it still, because if we don't participate, then we're going to have to live with what everyone else does. And maybe we can, not with our own letter, but as a show of numbers. With many cities speaking with one voice, we can get something done. And so for that reason, I do support this. Again, I think there are limitations. I don't expect that we're going to be addressing every issue that someone brings before us, nor should we. The ad hoc model, I'm good with trying it until it breaks down, we see it's not worthy. So I'm willing, and I've made the motion to approve, I'm willing to go forward on this as it is, see where we go with it, and if it needs adjusting or if it needs to be tossed to the side, we can do that. But our kind of piecemeal, come as it is, sometimes we are hot and heavy on some of these issues, sometimes we're not. That doesn't serve us well either. So I'd like to see more balanced, thoughtful approach to it, and this is a worthy one. It's a great staff report, and so that's why I moved to approve it.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Franklin.
Yes, thank you. I agree with Councilmember Lesser. Again, going through this the first time, 3 years now, those issues did bubble up, and we had some very good discussions about it, and it really helped conceptualize how the city should take a direction one way or the other on some of these big issues. I just feel like it's going to be so much detail. I was looking through it. They're just really, in many cases, just innocuous, statements that really are not relatable to, key pieces of legislation. And what do we always speak about? We always speak about Prop 47. We always speak about, SB 9. We always speak about, the specific initiatives of which we have a concern. And we do put our names to it, and we do forward that. And hopefully it has some weight or adds some weight to the decisions. I'm not opposed to sort of getting a generic guide and putting it together. The other thing I've learned is the value of staff time, and also the value of council time in discussing these things. So if something isn't quite, front and forward to the city, I don't want to spend time, discussing it and how it should go into the legislative guide and things like that. So I'd be willing to give it a try, to see what it looks like. But again, with those concerns addressed, and as we're about to go through reorganization, I think more people want to see less ad hoc committees than more. So I'm kind of sensitive to that of my colleagues' time. So.
Good.
Yep. Thanks.
Councilmember Haworth.
Thank you.
Wow, we're getting 2 bites at the apple again.
2 bites.
All right.
Thank you so much,
You're welcome.
Mr. Mayor. Couple quick clarifying things. I appreciate, some of these, Beverly Hills, my goodness, these things are really granular, right? And they go into a lot of detail. And perhaps, colleague, if we do approve this, maybe we start a little more, 30,000 feet and go down. But, I want to look at these. And I couldn't agree more with what Councilmember Napolitano said. I'm very much not interested in, taking positions on foreign affairs and certain national government policies. I really want to take positions on things like SB 9 or 40, Prop 47, to the extent that we can. So I just want to say that we don't have to go as deep as some of these cities have. And I think that I don't think this has to preclude council discussion on certain positions. I think the ad hoc is to kind of wade through the DREC to kind of bring something, because we could not get through. It would be very hard for the 5 of us to ever get through what those positions would be. So I'm supporting that. And to no one's surprise, I would be happy, if you guys wanted me to be part of it and spend my time on it. But if other people, have a desire. But to your concern about our time, which I so appreciate you saying that, I'm happy to spend a little bit of time on it with coffee and chocolate. So thank you.
Councilman Lesser.
This is my second bite at the apple. Did you want to sit in?
Big gets a third.
No thirds.
In the interest of consensus, I think, colleagues, you've heard the concerns about taking positions on too many pieces of legislation, to really be conscious of our staff time. I think what I would propose as a friendly amendment would be that this come back to be revisited. I could joke in a year, I think we're going to have 2 colleagues that are going to be moving off council, but just revisit, how is this program working? Obviously, the new council in over a year's time will have the right to revisit this anyway, but I'd like just some check on this program so it doesn't get out of hand. That would be my only proposal.
It's built in, right?
Yes. All right, I'll wrap up here. 2 comments. Bruce, have you thought about, City Manager Mo, how much time staff will spend on this? Just a blanket idea. How much time? You've heard 5 different comments, 5 different directions. How much time do you think a staff person will spend on this?
Well, I don't think they'll spend any more or less than they would under the old system. I think this actually just makes things more streamlined for us and makes us more nimble, is the word that was used. So I don't think this is going to create additional work for us, except initially when we're developing the platform. But after that, it's, I don't want to call it autopilot, but it's certainly, something that's more streamlined.
Okay. Those of you watching at home know what we're talking about. Every council member has the right to put an item on the agenda if he or she cares about a bill or Sacramento is threatening one thing or the other. They have the right at every meeting to add it to the agenda, the way it stands now. If the streamline process works, that still won't change that agenda item. They'll still be open to add something. So we're going to be adding layers. I'm asking that because I invited Councilmember Tracy Park, LA councilor, to come to our fireworks show, and she was telling me how they have a public safety dedicated person. Yes, another bigger city, bigger, I get all that. But her point was that there's so much going on in Sacramento and LA, they can't turn around and watch everything that goes on. Something that affects public safety, they have someone watching public safety bills that go anywhere around the state or nationally that fill her in on what's going on. Hey, Sacramento's saying that they want to, cut back on funding for DUI checkpoints, where it's going to be. She knows about it. So I'm not sure Beverly Hills is a full-time ledge analyst or not. They probably have film full-time. We don't have that. But just an option to think about going forward. If you're timing this, it's something that happens to us right away. And to your point about waiting 2 weeks to come back and talk about it, we might think about doing something, whether a half analyst dedicated to where we know right when it's coming down, not waiting 2 weeks to bring our attention to it, or one of us to catch it. I'm not so much worried about the timing part of it, but I'd rather pay for someone to be watching everything that's going on, Fed, state, county, that be blindsided that we didn't pay attention, either ourselves, we didn't see it. And all of us have other things to do besides watch bills bounce around Sacramento every single week.
Well, and I think that's part of the value of the League of California Cities, frankly, and they're letting us know what's coming down the pipeline. And then the representatives of Ben Allen's office and Al Marisucci's office, we're in contact with them as well. And I know it's not on the agenda tonight, but at one point we did hire a lobbyist to help us with that, and you can always reconsider that at some point as well.
Yes, and those are great. I'm not saying the league obviously does it, but they don't watch things that make a difference to our city as much as we would watch our own backyard. That's my only point about that. But to your point, or David's point of bringing it back to look at it, every January, Joe, we can refine it. You can refine how you want to look at it. But I'd rather be caught up in of having someone dedicated more to watch what's happening than rely on the league or Marisucci or Ben Allen. They're all doing their own things. That's the only thing I meant. I understand why Beverly Hills did it, because they probably afford it more, and they're probably more impacted by what goes on that affects them than we are. But we're sister cities in that respect. So I'm okay with the trial part of it, and like David said, bring it back and take a look how we tweak it as it goes forward. But let's see. I wouldn't show away the option yet of dedicating someone, even a 0.5 staff, to be tied to ledge. Now that I see what other cities are doing, and there's so much coming down the pipeline at us, that's not going to go away. But let's see what happens. No other comments? We'll call for a roll call vote, please, Lisa.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you, George. Well done.
Great staff report. How often do we say that?
All right. HR Director Lisa Jenkins has to talk to us today. CalPERS and retirement law revisions. Here we go. Welcome, Lisa.
Are we serving coffee with this item?
I don't know.
Sorry.
I'll keep it short. Good evening, City Council. My name is Lisa Jenkins, and I'm the Human Resources Director for the city. This is the final step in the process required by CalPERS to amend our contract. And this amendment is to memorialize the 3% employer cost sharing that's been in effect with our unrepresented public safety chiefs for some time now. I'd like to thank the City Clerk's Office for assisting us in coordinating the secret ballot election required by CalPERS. All 5 affected members participated and unanimously approved the amendment for the cost sharing. So with the adoption of the ordinance tonight, recommended by staff, that will conclude the process and allow the mayor to enter into the required contract amendment with CalPERS.
And, thank you, Lisa. I have a first and a second already, but anyone have comments? Anyone have any comments? All right. Thank you, Lisa. Stand by for a minute. We'll see public comments here. Anyone have comments about this? How about on Zoom, Martha?
There's no request via Zoom.
All right, close public comment.
Move adoption.
There's a first by Councilor
Second.
Napolitano and a second by Councilor Haworth. Voting screen,
And
please.
I believe the city attorney needs to read the title, is that correct, or no?
Yeah.
Wow.
Read it during introduction.
I
Second
don't think so. I
reading?
think
No?
we waived that.
Okay.
That means yes, you can vote.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, item number 17, consideration of resolution in support of stone drain measure. City Manager Mo.
Yes. Council will recall that you gave us authorization in September to start the Prop 218 process in order to change the storm drain fee. Public hearing was held, and you authorized us to then go out to special ballot. And those ballots were sent out at the end of November. They're due back by January 17th. It is a mail-in ballot only. And so tonight, we put on the agenda a resolution that if you approve it, it indicates the council's support for that proposed fee increase, which, as you know, would fund storm drain repairs, operations, maintenance, capital, and so on. So this is simply a resolution indicating council support if you adopt it.
Council, any questions on this item? Councilor Napolitano, thank you for pushing the button there.
Yeah, sorry, no questions. I'll wait for a comment.
All right, anyone? Questions? City Manager Mo, just a question in general, unless the city attorney says I can't answer it. Have you been receiving questions about the details of where general fund money goes, subsidizing this, the cost that we do related to this action?
We've had a few questions along those lines, yes.
Have they asked the money comes from, does it affect police, fire, our employees, the money coming out of general fund, what could be impacted by the city not passing this function?
Those questions have been asked, yes.
No, all right. Nothing now, public comment on this one? How about on Zoom, Martha?
No request via Zoom.
Close public comment. I see a first, Councilor Haworth, and a second by Councilor Napolitano. Voting screen, please.
Motion passes 5-0.
Great. I don't think so.
Okay.
Is that going in the book?
Item L, sorry, City Council requests and reports to the AB 1234 reports.
Oh, no.
Anybody go anywhere?
Sorry, no, I was doing future agenda items,
That's right,
sorry.
you leave it there for a second.
Okay.
Seeing none, move to item N, future agenda items. Councilor Haworth, you're first up.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think that I neglected to bring forward the item that I'd mentioned of keeping the design of the blue street signs. Mr. Mo?
It actually was brought forth.
Oh, it was.
And the third vote was obtained already.
Okay, thank you. There was some confusion. Okay,
I thought
so
he-
that's, thank you.
That's my bad. I thought he'd clarified that.
Okay, great, thank you, thank you. All right.
So no item?
No more. Unbelievable.
Mayor Tim Franklin?
Yes, hi. So what I'd like to propose is we've authorized to spend the money on the two crosswalks in front of Jocelyn on 18th and 17th Street to improve them and upgrade them. I'd like to propose that we ask the Cultural Arts Commission and the Arts in Public Places to review and come up with designs that commemorates our police department and our fire department on either or both of those sidewalks, similar to the one that we have down at the pier. And the reason for this is this will be commemorating instead of a shark on their building, their hard work, their devotion, and the service that they provide to the residents of Manhattan Beach. And it would be serve as a constant reminder. It would be done tastefully, of course, and would show that in sometimes, they sacrifice with their life, like we see with Officer Swanson and Officer Gans and the like, whose memorial is just right opposite those crosswalks there by the Live Oak tennis courts. So I'd like to see if we could do that, come up with some sort of commemoration. as this is all going to be new, new crosswalks and the things that they can do. We just won an award for what we did with creativity on crosswalks in North Manhattan Beach.
I'll be a second. You have two. You're good.
Can I make a request for purposes of what staff comes back after Councilmember Napolitano makes some comment?
Yeah, I mean, I know there's a second, but I'll just put it out here now that, a crosswalk? If we want to commemorate the efforts of police and fire, I think we can come up with something better than a crosswalk.
We're just talking and looking at designs. You're not saying just crosswalk, Joe, are you? It could be something else.
He said crosswalks.
Yeah.
Just a crosswalk?
Crosswalk or, a plaque near them or something like that. Something to remind people and to remind the fire department that that's their path of, how many times do we see the police cars and the fire engines go across Ardmore there and the like? And it's just a way to recognize them and to commemorate and to show our appreciation for them.
How about a suggestion that you have staff bring that back and designs on where you could put it?
Yeah.
Once you revise your statement and how you want to do it, you want to have staff bring back designed or look at the concept where and what you're looking for at an Ardmore location.
Yeah, I mean.
Right now, we just need the 2 votes. We'll come back for a third, and you can
But
give
I
us
want to
direction
understand
then.
what he's asking for, so we all hear.
Will you give us direction at the next meeting then?
Got it. So you have your second.
Can I make one request, Mr. Mayor? So I'm respectful of the Brown Act. We cannot talk about this substantively, but I can ask, if I could, that staff indicate how much extra time would be involved to the extent that there might be an art component to this. I just simply would say that I was with members of the Senior Advisory Commission earlier today. They are very much looking forward to these crosswalks as soon as possible as a safety concern, and I'd hate for this project to be delayed. So I think having a better understanding of what the timing would be to add the other element would be important to know.
So I don't want to step on the attorney's toes here, but that's work in it of itself to identify what you're asking for. So I'd prefer to get the third vote initially, and then you can give us direction for that type of information. We can come back with a complete staff report that would have that information.
Okay, thank you.
And remind everybody, our staff reports are going to tell us about cost. So we're not even near that section yet. So cost will be included in the report when it comes back, assuming it gets a third vote. Ms. Napolitano, Steve, you're up.
Oh, no, that was from before. Sorry.
Councilor Howard, you're up.
Yeah, you good, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, so we voted on the platform, coming up with a platform and an ad hoc. Did we want to designate who's going to be on the ad hoc?
We have one volunteer so far, you.
I volunteered, but it doesn't matter. I mean, if you'd rather, I just think we should.
Can defer to the incoming mayor.
Okay, and Mr. Mayor, that's fine. If you, whatever.
Great idea. I think you defer till January 9th.
The power. The power. Perfect. I just wanted to clarify that because I didn't want that.
Nobody gets assigned tonight.
I wasn't going to work on it.
Good.
Until.
But you can get extra
Nominate
credit.
Councilmember Howard.
Yeah, no extra work over the holidays.
Me.
Anybody else?
I got to make
Anybody
my
else want
candy.
to look at? City Manager, I was asked today in an email message, so I knew a resident that asked, with the difficulty in hiring police officers, even though we have the incentive program moving forward, have we thought about and this is the way the message read, it said, have we thought about increasing our size similar to something like Beverly Hills, increasing our staff size? And I reminded this person about the chief has the right to overhire, with 72 plus 2 overhires, assuming you find 4 or 5 great officers that want to come over, work with us. And I said, man, that's to be a work plan agenda item for next year. We haven't been lucky to even filled our 72 officers yet. We can't find quality people that we have up there already.
Right, and I might add that my direction to HR has been to keep hiring until I tell you not to. And so.
Excellent.
That means.
Did you hear that? That's great.
So.
That is our answer we're hiring until we tell them not to, because we want to find great people to come work here, and we're not looking at other cities doing it. We look at our own backyard. We find 10 great people, we'll hire 10 great people. That's going to be our answer going forward. So.
And HR is working on some creative solutions, some with the help of Mayor Pro Tem Franklin, but we're looking at new ways to attract good quality employees.
I appreciate that.
You say Joe's applying? Oh, no.
He's out there looking at people. No one else has any other items? All right, city manager report.
Happy holidays. That's it.
Man, city attorney David, so thank you for covering for Quinn tonight. You have any comments for tonight?
My pleasure, and same thing as the city manager. Happy holidays.
All right, informational items, seeing none. Let's see what we got here. Our next meeting would adjourn to
Your
a regular
Honor,
meeting.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
On behalf of myself and my colleagues, recognize that we will have the whole thing on January 9th with the rotation, but congratulate you on your last full meeting as mayor. Well run, well done. It is 7:25.
Oh, a new record.
Might be a new record there. I
That's
think
what
the
a
city
pro
manager
does.
had something to do with that, removing items from the agenda, but that's all right. We all benefit, so appreciate your hard work these past 9.5 months.
Thank you.
You have
Appreciate
done a great
that.
job.
Sorry.
The
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We missed a couple of things here. Now I have free time, not to break your record there. Will you put those up there for a second?
The Lindsay Horvath thing?
You're going to see this in a second. There's two, actually.
The Pope's here?
The Trapo Palato, right?
So our own Monsignor Barry got to go to the Vatican on a trip. He wasn't told he was going to meet the Pope until
Whoa.
just before it happened.
Oh, look at that.
So while he was there, our own Monsignor Barry, the spry guy that he is, got to talk to the Pope for less than 5 minutes. But it was a great conversation. You can't see the gift in his hand. I can't see if that's a gift from Metlocks, what he's got wrapped up there. Something he hands the Pope is a gift. But they talked for a while, so it's good to know that our Monsignor Barry is connected and made his whole thing. And we have bragging rights for a while. Who else has their own Monsignor City going to meet the Pope face to face? So props to Monsignor Barry. I know he hates to get embarrassed in public, but I want to make sure we give him props. When you see him next, let him know you saw the picture. Next one, Martha. I am the proud uncle of this.
Ah, yes,
So,
Bella.
Yeah, so Bella, I've gone to 13 Nutcrackers. I've more than anybody else in this room, I guarantee it. And at 13 Nutcrackers, here she is. She played Clara. That's the highest you can get in Nutcracker. So this is the picture I sent in to the ballet people I took there when she was there. So as a proud uncle, I'm entitled to get one bragging right. That was it. So that's probably the last Nutcracker I have to see, I think, for a while. But props to her. Thank you all for doing it. We're going to adjourn till Joe, the next mayor, on Tuesday, January 9th, 2024, 6 p.m. Thank you all. Happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, and happy New Year. See you guys. Thank you very much, and we'll see you guys next year.
Yay.